Welcome back to Bodanza Disc Golf and to my second Pro Tour event of the year.
Discraft presents the Cascade Challenge. I forgot to say that. And my baby is sleeping.
I'm actually excited to play this one, which might be surprising based on my first event of the year, but this one's gonna be better. And all I have to do that is get better than 99th, baby. Today, I'm gonna do a practice round here at the Cascade Challenge, the Shelton Springs course. I played it as a Q Series last year. The course isn't long. At least that's what I thought until I looked at the caddy book this morning and saw that they adjusted some of the holes, and now it's over 9,000 feet, par 64, mostly through the woods. So it's gonna be pretty epic today. There's an 1,100 foot par 5. I'm riding solo. It's been a little bit of a hectic weekend, and so I completely just spaced to set up somebody for a practice round. So it's just gonna be me. And I think that might be good for my game just because I'll get to figure things out myself. I have some new discs to the bag. I'm gonna be testing out the Marvel alongside my PA3 that I use for a throwing putter. That's a base plastic. I don't think it'll go in, but I still have a bunch of these on my site from the run that I did last year. So I was like, maybe I try it out. All my mid-ranges are new and I'm not sure if any or all of them are staying. I think for sure this Buzz is staying. I really like it. It's pretty stable for a Buzz. This Bobcat is gonna get compared against some other overstable mid-ranges here in the next couple days, which you'll likely see a video to see which one's gonna finally make my bag. And this is a Dune, which I think is unreleased as of yet, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. It's much stiffer and flatter, which I really like, so I'm gonna test it out. I also put in a Retina Chemtrail from Doomsday Discs, which is a pretty fun, really flippy 7-speed. I put in my PNW swing Roman, because we're in the back of the PNW swing, so I had to throw the Roman back in, and just a bunch of Emperors. Look at DGN giving me my own little tripod stand up here. That's very nice of them. We're throwing hole number 1, 325 feet, out this beautiful little gap here with a Mando to a basket to the left. There is OB that runs along that outside, so you need to throw something overstable. We got kind of a cute little vantage point though. I'm gonna throw some warm-up shots, and then I think the play is either gonna be Scepter or Cap Wrap, depending on the wind. Probably Captain's Raptor, I would guess. Here, let's try out these nudists versus their counterparts to warm up. Here is the Marvel. Touch of hyzer out there. I haven't thrown X steps. You guys hopefully saw the standstill video yesterday with Clint. I haven't thrown X steps in a few days, so this is gonna feel a little interesting. Hey, we hit the gap on the first try. It's a good sign for today. PA3. Okay, the PA3 is a little flippier, it seems, and I do like that. So, next disc that's new is this Dune, the Trash Panda. See how flippy it is. Wow, it's a little stable. I didn't really throw it too hard, but that's actually a good shot. This Buzz is a touch up from that, but I expected that to maybe flip a little more. That's nice, but... See, the problem is that's actually the gap that no one's telling you about. We have, ooh, Bobcat, gotta throw that, of course. This stable one, we'll try to punch an Annie through there. I tried to hit that same gap again. Got a Roman, which is a potential actual play. So I'll throw it as if it's an actual play, but I think more stable is good because of the OB on the backside. Maybe even a driver, but higher through the gap is likely better as well. Oh, or through my special gap. Wow. Special gap works, I guess. Yeah, I got a couple drivers I might try. Today, actually, interestingly, the Monday qualifying is happening as we speak. And one of our favorite collective content creator buddies, I think, is out there trying to qualify, which I hope he does. I think he's in good position right now. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm sure he'll make a video about it, so I'm not going to talk much more about it. But I do want to see if I would qualify in today's round. Obviously, it's super different. It's no pressure or whatever, but I'm already in the tournament. It'll be fun to see. I'll score it. I don't think it'll really affect how much I play. I am getting much better about not benchmarking my scores in tournaments and trying to get there to practice rounds. So let's see if I shoot well enough on first shots today, which none of those count, but first shots to qualify. No more warm-uppies. I think I'm gonna go Cap Wrap. I still have yet to even really locate the basket, which is maybe not the best thing for me to have done. Okay, it's just so left. It might even be like Conqueror out through that gap because I have a really stable Conqueror. But I think Cap Wrap flat to hyzer. I'm really running up this way, which I think is why I'm releasing inside. But I'm afraid of these first trees kind of, but if I run up this way, throw something higher, I think it'd work. I don't think that's left enough. I think that needed to come out on hyzer. I'll try the Scepter. I'm gonna try this pretty overstable Halo C-Blend Emperor that I got from Eric Oakley. I bought off him. Try this on hyzer, and I think that might be the play because it'll be fast and it'll want to get left. That's much better looking. That could be short, that could be inside, I don't really know. We're gonna get up there, see how the shots went, and make my determination. I'm really excited to be playing on the tour again. I really did take the time off from Kansas City Wide Open where I had a pretty bad showing. And pretty bad showing because I was very burnt out. I did not enjoy playing, I wasn't having fun. It was much harder to travel with now having a baby and my wife still working. And luckily, there have been some fixes to that, mostly just in my mindset. I much less am putting pressure on myself trying to be a pro. I'm just gonna enjoy that I get to be out here and doing this, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing my content very well. So even before I came and did this practice round today, I made sure that I edited a video and got it uploaded. Because one, that's paying for things on the road, and two, I love being a YouTuber, and I'm really grateful that you guys let me do this as my job. And so this week, I'm not gonna like force myself to go and practice a bunch and like put so much pressure on everything. I'm just gonna come out here if I feel like it, or have something fun to film, or just wanna play with some friends, and enjoy filming a little more off course as well. I have some really fun courses that I'm gonna be playing. One even later today, if I can continue having energy. It's gonna be a good tournament and a good rest of the year playing on tour as much as I can. Which this is the start of 3 events. This one, Portland, and Kayak Point on the Ghost Shore Tour. And I'd love to cash out at least one of those, but it's not like a goal or anything. It'd just be cool. I think it's pretty stable. I got a lot of weight on it. That's pretty sweet. All right, we have a good spread, and I think my shots were way better than I thought they were. This buzz got to about 40 feet. I think this is kind of a softer, or I don't know. I think this is a cool hole. I don't know how I like it as hole number 1. I don't play that much on tour, and I'm not really in any sort of position or any sort of mood to complain about anything right now, to be honest with you. Ooh, make the dune. The Emperor's parked, the Roman's parked. Oh, my cap wrap is long outside the circle for hole 1. Everything is safe though, which is good, but I think this is not a great spectating hole number 1. That's probably wrong, actually. It's not a great spectating hole number 1 from the tee pad. But out here, there's plenty of room to just see stuff coming in. So that's pretty cool. Do I have shorts on to do this? Oh, thank goodness, it's so warm out. Emperor had to be pretty close. This had to be really close, this Roman here. My cap wrap is a little long, so this little 40-footer gets started with a little left to right. Oh, way too high. Yikes. There we go. Would not be good to bogey the first hole. Ay. Oh, and I did. I should have called 2 off the top. I could have taken that Emperor, which is parked. What a silly guy. So Shelton, where we are, is kind of interesting because it's an hour to an hour and a half outside of Seattle. And it's a pretty sweet little town out here. Very like woodsy, which is fun. But it really feels like almost a vacation-ish place. Like it's Monday and it was 11 o'clock and I went to Walmart and the whole place was packed because I think it's just like more of a retirement area, which is cool, but they have this beautiful course here. Hole 2 of which is pretty sweet, 965 feet, par 5. There's hazard to the left, and I like that they have the different stakes. The yellow stakes are hazard, the white stakes are OB. It does look actually like they pinched the fairway from where I had played this tournament before, and you can like throw over the hazard, but it looks a little far to try to throw over it. So you can maybe chip to right in front of us where we see, and then chip to the mouth of the woods, and then go for it, or try to throw 500, 450 and get an eagle. This one I think will be eagled a good amount. It's about 300 feet to the middle, maybe 420 to the top of the hazard. So I'm gonna play my potential tournament play, which is just the layup short with probably the buzz, honestly, since it's now a stable buzz, and I have a mid-range that I like. And then I'll try to throw over the top, see if I can't get one down there. Still feel like my body's waking up and warming up. My head is like really pounding for some reason, but that doesn't matter. We're playing Frisbee golf. It's always only in the middle right there. That's exactly how I want to play that. I got a couple drivers that I'm trying to figure out. Iblend Emperor or maybe this Halo. It's a little tailwind. I'll try the Iblend first and just see how understable it is and if I can get over the hazard. The good news is if you're in hazard, but you throw 480 and you can throw the next shot close to the basket, you can still get a birdie or a par. That's not staying up at all. I'm not getting anywhere close to over it, but that's okay for now. I'm just trying to get shots out there. We're warming up. That might be over. No, still inside, but we're warming up. I'm definitely not throwing over this week. That could be my big play. That's my most overstable, throwable driver. I might try to run an eagle from there. I don't think I have the distance, but sweet hole 2. This, I think, would be such a good starting hole, but I don't know. I feel like they have to go out of the woods. The final one would have actually cleared, and my second to last one was close. So maybe if I'm warm, I like have the juice to go for it, but I really don't think it's that important. I have a Sphinx or a Roman here to go kind of through that gap. You want to basically finish as straight as you can in that gap. I think the basket's straight that way. It's kind of nice to have played this course, have a general idea. Okay, to the gap looks like about 410, 415. So Sphinx or Roman will probably get me right at it. And And then getting in the gap would be something for one of the drivers. But since there's OB right, I'm not gonna throw the Sphinx, I'll throw this Roman. Just try to throw it higher, flat to slight hyzer, and try to hit just before the gap. Weak sauce throw. Very weak sauce throw. Okay, so this one is about 2 feet short of making it back steer. I feel like it's probably only like 440 maybe to clear. I just didn't really have the juice today. And then this one actually went a good ways. So I think from here, the basket is kind of like up and pushing mostly straight. So I'll try this double G Emperor. That's a good shot. Get stable though. Oh wow, flippy. Okay, I actually liked it out of my hands. I thought it would fade faster, but that's not gonna be an eagle. I got a group of ladies behind me, and the Monday qualifier guys are putting on 18 right there, so I just want to throw, get out of the way. There's a chance for me to try to get up and down for birdie there, but I'm feeling a little rushed. I absolutely hate, so I'm gonna throw a few less shots for the next couple holes because it's a bigger group behind me. I'll get up and down for par here. I do definitely feel like a little migraine, which is so odd, but also a little scared of the hyzer with that. I kind of babied it because I didn't really want it to flip, which it's never going to flip, but I just didn't trust it. I could have thrown it flat or even a touch of flex at the height that I did on the upshot to get to the mouth, and it would have been fine. Good thing I practiced those stances with Clint, huh? Hey. Good thing I threw that first shot, huh? This green is sweet. This definitely feels like both of these holes feel birdieable, and that's the only feeling I need to take away from today. Of course, we're keeping score, but that's mostly for fun. I just need to play the one shot round because some of these shots I'm like range finding with throwing, and that's too much energy to exert for me with all that I feel like I have to do this week. So anything to lessen my load will be nice. That being said, we're moving into hole number 3. It's either gonna be a turnover or flip up forehand using the disc that I turned over on my potential eagle upshot. I'm not eagling that hole, I'm not trying. 330, mostly straight, but like kind of through this gap and finishes a little right. So either Scepter or Emperor, I think. I honestly really like this Emperor, this slight halo one for this shot, because I don't know, it's like a little tailwind. So the Emperor I've just been in general loving throwing is this Halo G1 Emperor for my forehands. I didn't throw it almost at all Casey wide open except for forehands. And I like it because I can throw a touch of hyzer and it like pops up. So first full forehand of the day, let's see how we get on. Perfect. Yes, I love that disc for that shot. Like that felt like an ace run almost because I could just throw it on very comfortable this angle, push it straight, and then like wants to stay straight and push up, and then it fades. This will be a third hole where it's like, hey, I can give myself a birdie opportunity. At least so it seems. I'll tell you what, getting to these holes this year compared to last year, even though I just had like the worst feeling, round, tournament, whatever, the last tournament I played, which was 4 weeks ago, I still feels easier to throw these shots, even though I feel a little discombobulated, which is a win. Look at the little deer. It's right by my disc. That's so cool. I think that's one of the more underrated parts about playing disc golf in the woods. Back to even. That's a good birdie, this disc. So glad to have it in the bag. Not as much as a backhander's disc, but kind of. Might be a step up from my high blend. Also, many people would be proud of me. I've waited this long to talk about how I've changed elevations. Honestly, mostly because I forgot, because I've been here for like a day already. And yesterday felt like 3 days in one. But coming from Denver to Seattle, you're going from to basically complete sea level from a mile high. And so your discs are just gonna fly ever so different. And that's also part of today, is figuring out those flip points, because it's mostly hard to figure out like when a disc wants to fade, because it doesn't fade as fast and it flips faster. So that's a part of the game today, but not majorly important. I'm gonna be playing other courses and stuff so that I can figure that out, not necessarily only on this course. Wow, is this a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous hallway. So this hole, I think you go straight and turn a little right. It's kind of like snakes. I haven't played it in a while, but it looks to be pretty much the same. There is OB if you fade too hard off the tee shot, so you want something that turns. This does look like a slightly more open gap than before, so I think that same forehand I just threw would work, or maybe a backhand with the Sphinx, or the chemtrail, depending on how much hyzer I want to put on it. This is one where I think forehand and backhand are what I'm going to throw, just because they're opposite shots and I want to see the difference and how I feel. we'll try out the Sphinx first, mostly flat, like touch a hyzer. I just don't want it to fade, and if I hit it hard, I can get a good way down the fairway. Yikes, that's not good. A little too long. All right, we'll try this, and then we gotta scramble. Might be a forehand for me. That's feeling really good recently. Low wobble. Doesn't have to be the best shot, but it's got a chance for birdie. That's all I'm looking for. That chemtrail is sick. That is a good hyzer flip through gap disc. I'm glad I threw that. I'm gonna be honest, I got a bit scared throwing this shot, so I got a little long, and then I ended up, instead of throwing smooth through the gap, I tried to just muscle it because I knew I needed to throw slightly hard, and then I ended up doing this. So I don't know if I can get into par position, but I'll do my best. Got to throw a little knife forehand to get out, and then see what we can do from there. Don't pan too much. Uh-oh. I think every couple videos I have one shot like that, which is a because I'm filming kind of shot. Because I got up there and I needed my conqueror, and all I had was a straight overstable emperor and my cap wrap, which is not fast enough. So I end up just throwing the shot because I don't want to have to go back to my bag and find the disc again. But it gives me good practice from scrambling from another lie. Taking a single bogey there, even from just kicking that first one, would be good. Oh, here's the deer again. Whoa. But the basket, as you can see, way down there. I think I might have chopped myself back into the woods again. Alrighty, let's try this out. I have a lie way in here. Trying out a new little filming guy. Is there any sort of look? I think I'm way too far. There is a little forehand though that I could maybe give myself a long look, but it's gonna almost have to be that disc, but this emperor works as well. So I'll try this out. That's pretty good. Yeah, I knew it'd be a long look. I just need to fade it back to the fairway, get up and down for bogey. Hey, so I might have just turned off my camera and totally missed a bunch of stuff, but I tried something new. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Big shout out to Insta360 for actually sending me out the gear. Potentially interested in getting into disc golf in some capacity, but I'm just gonna be honing it in over the next couple of videos and days and stuff. So if you like it, it'll be for not the whole thing, but it'll also kind of harken back to the beginning of my channel, which is a bunch of POV videos. We'll see how it turns out. I do have a long look here somehow. For how bad a first couple shots are, I think that red thing is 100 feet, so still some sort of look. No chance, but decent upshot. Bogey time. The putt's still feeling pretty good, so that's a win. Kind of an anomaly on the first hole. I did warm it up a little, but maybe needed more time. Jeez. I know some people say that they have like chronic migraines and stuff. This is like the first real headache or real migraine I've had in a while. I did have a little coffee today, but maybe I'm a little caffeine, I don't know, but this sucks bad. I feel for everybody who has a lot of migraines, because this sucks. Okay, new rule for the sake of time, sanity, and my arm. That last hole, I threw those 3 shots because I was like, oh, I need to practice these. That's kind of still more of a want. It was like, oh, forehand or backhand works. Hey, guess what? I'll have more practice days. I need to choose one for this video. And I think because I didn't choose and just wanted to throw my Sphinx, I ended up throwing the forehand second, which was by far the better shot and what I should have thrown. And it wasn't a perfect position. So I'm gonna force myself to choose. If I throw a second shot on any shot today, from here on out, I'm giving away one of this in my bag that is not staying in my bag for the week. Put it in the 50K subscriber giveaway. Okay, 325 feet out and to the left. You can actually see the basket from right here, which is kind of neat. I'll move you guys a little bit, but it's very similar. This is like the same hole as hole 1, basically. Oh, you could. So yeah, pretty much the same hole, except there's a couple gaps. So you have like an inside and like a pushing the back wall and then fading, which I think is what the cap wrap is good for. Could be a scepter, but I think the scepter is if I want to throw it on hyzer. This one I want to keep mostly flat and then fade late, and I think that's what this disc is good for. Would have been the same shot as hole 1. Didn't quite put the back wall, but I think I got a birdie. Oh yeah, skip right by the basket. I like this kind of every other birdie bogey kind of thing that we have going on. Let's stop it. Here's one new hole that was cut out. Also, putting does not count for the extra giveaway stuff. Practice putting, still important. When I played here last year, it was just the blue, which is still tough, but this is much tougher. Now this is a tight hyzer flip or a forced flex, or you can kind of go up this right side gap, but it's not really cleaned up. So it's really just this gap, 445 feet. So now we're gonna see how understable this Island Emperor is. I don't remember it being insanely flippy. Doesn't seem like there's too much wind out there. It would be great to have a flag on that basket, but it is kind of in its own little cove. There used to be, oh, there is actually OB left and OB way right, but left is out of bounds. Oh, I forgot. That's good. So you definitely want to throw something a little flippier or err on the side of right. So this would be a great birdie, but probably mostly pars on this hole. This looks really hard. Ah, it's flippy and low. Oh, it almost rolled OB, but it didn't. I can't even tell you how bad I want to throw a second shot right now. But I know really good of editing Anthony, and Anthony later today who needs to film another video. I can't. But I just want you and I to know that I want to so bad. I do think not throwing a second shot is potentially better for my disc golf game though, because it forces you to accept the bad results. Where if I just throw until I throw a good shot, then I can almost in my head kind of believe errantly that, oh, I'm gonna be able to throw a good shot, when maybe it was like 1 out of every 5 was good. Versus here, like, I don't think it's wrong to practice that way, but maybe it would be worth it for me, and I'm gonna try to like just have some holes like today where I threw a bad shot and I have to go and play from that bad shot, and that might be where I land, and like it gives me a better acceptance than just like playing from having a good score and almost lying to myself that that's always gonna be the case. That being said, this one almost got rolled OB. This is so stupid close, but we're in bounds. There is a right to left. Okay, so there are flags. You just can't see them from our tee pad. This is where the chicane will shine, and where my standstill practice shines too. I do feel much better about throwing standstills after yesterday. I better if that's the result. Hole 8 is kind of cool because we used to play from the blue back there, par 4 last year. It was from there, you'd throw a nice roller turnover through the gap. It was eagleable because, as you can see, the basket, they actually might have moved it slightly right, but that might be where it used to be, is way down there past the Mando, just inside of it, in the frame. And this year, they changed it to be an incredibly long par 3 instead of an incredibly short par 4. So they moved from the blue tee pad up 60, 70 feet to this red one, and now it's 490 feet, but a par 3. So this one, no birdies on that in the qualifier today when I checked. So that's interesting. And big old turnover through a gap. Might be possible. They play it normally as a par 4, unlike the normal layout, but ours is a par 3. So I think a roller plays, but I don't know if I have a good roller disc. There is a left to right wind, which does help. This chemtrail could be a solid roller disc, but I'm not in the business of finding that out right now. Instead, I would go Island Emperor, but because it's pretty flippy, as we just saw, I need to throw it on hyzer and let it flip. Whereas I think you need to like force something through the gap that like continues moving right, but like gets stable. So you need to throw something a little more overstable, which I think means this 169 Halo S-Blend Emperor, which I have some of these on my site alongside my Halo Glow banana butts, and these are similar stabilities, but the 169s just kind of go. And I think they're a little, maybe less overstable, but I love the feel of them. This is the only one I have right now, so I'm hoping I continue working with it, but I try to get it high through that middle gap on turn and let it flex out. Wow, okay, never mind. I need to turn it way more. This might just be a roller hole. Like, that might just be the only play. It's probably not gonna have a lot of birdies anyways. The Sphinx could work. That gap is a little farther than I thought it was. I would be super stoked with a par all 3 rounds on this hole. Yeah, with the Mando and then the OB short. Just get it through there. I do just like how that disc comes out of my hand, and it has good stability, so. I'm finding the drivers and the discs that I love. It could just be that I really much more enjoy traveling to the PNW than to Kansas, even though it's a almost 3 times as long drive, 2.5 times as long. Disc golf up here is fun. I can't wait to go play a specific course for this week's Course Conquest. I think was highly anticipated. That will probably go live tomorrow. I was wrong. I probably just need to use that in every single video because it's a soundbite that rings true, but this one, with fading out as much as it did, is just outside circle 2. This got way closer than I thought it did. So this is gonna be a shot worth dialing in to try to birdie. It's a fun shot to throw too, just big turnover. I also don't quite think this is puttable, so I'm gonna have to snag a chicane or a bobcat or something. Try to chuck it in. Get it close no matter what. Whoa, that tree actually probably helped it. All right, hole 8's 315. They played it from the whites last year, so I haven't played this. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I think they played it from over there. This is just dead straight. It looks like there's actually a decent little forehand gap, or throw it straight at it. You can get lucky on this hole. I think I'm gonna try this dune out. Seems like basically a straight buzz-ish disc, not super flippy, so a touch of hyzer could work. Try to just thread the needle. Wow, that is stable. Wow, whoa. That was quite a bit more overstable than I thought. I thought I threw it really good to flip up through the gap. So beat-in dune might work, and I love the feel of that disc. So maybe I'll try to beat it up a little bit before the tournament. Play a one disc round with it or something. I do have a couple others from Jesse that he gave me that feel similar, that one of them might be a touch flippier. Or I could just throw that a little flatter, but I like the flight overall, just not nearly as understable as I thought. And the good thing about a hole like this is I advanced a good ways. I have an 80-footer. Maybe we can drain it. Swing. Not bad at all. Oh, that's way too wide. Putt feels really good right now. Look at this stat patter over here. Outside C1X, or outside the bullseye, so I get a C1X putt. Let's go. Oh, fresh wood chips, come on. All right, now we have a fun par 4. And last year my forehand was trash, so this year it'll be fun to play it feeling pretty confident, because I was like so scared I was gonna hit the gap, and I think I'm gonna step up to this gap and be like, oh, that feels doable. And if I'm not, we got problems. Cool little hole, 520 feet, OB out there, and a hazard close to the basket. So you just need 2 solid forehands out this gap, which does look doable, so that's a win. It's only 520, so scepter, cap wrap, maybe even emperor or something, or cap wrap emperor. We do have a little head with a right to left, and I think the scepter, if I wobble it a little too much or put too much ante on it, it'll hold. It'll still get stable at the end, but I think this is definitely a cap wrap shot. Really good. That is really, really good. It's actually a good bit of headwind kind of coming out here now. You can see the basket straight ahead. It's only 245 as the crow flies, but we have hazard right there. It'd be pretty cool to just thread the needle, but that's definitely not me. So I think going through that main gap on a pushing hyzer is where the scepter might work, but since we have so much headwind, I think just throwing that blue and white emperor is perfect. It's like, yeah, could I get there with the cap wrap again or something? I think, but I can also commit to this, and I like throwing this on a forehand. I think it's about finding the disc that I enjoy throwing, whether it's super fast or down tempo. And this is one that, like, I want to just punch on a touch of hyzer and just let the disc do the work. So hopefully we can execute and get another bird. Oh, forgot about that big tree in the middle there. It's so mean. I think it might be worth it to try to push even farther, because the angle opens up a bit. But I'll be honest, like, having seen this hole and looking at this, I think just getting me out the gap somewhere here, I have a pretty equal chance, because that big tree eats up a lot of discs. I did that pretty much how I wanted to. Got through the gap pretty much how I wanted to, and just got a little unlucky on a tree, so can't really complain too much. Drop. Oh, man. Thought the left right would drop them a little more. 2 really good putts, I think, just bad results. Flip plays for sure. There we go. How is that sandwiched on the pole like that? I'm gonna knock it out. Never mind. I will say, I think not throwing seconds on these shots where I've either had bad breaks or been like slightly off has been really helpful. 1, in accepting the really bad shot, like I said way back when. But 2, in just like me keeping my energy up, because I'm not throwing extra shots, which the more tired you are, I don't know if you're like this, I assume most people in the world are like this, the more tired I am, the more I hate life. And I'm trying to enjoy disc golf, so yeah, we got a little tailwind. I think this is the perfect PA3 shot. It is an island hole with a little drop zone. The dune could work, but I think this PA3 is kind of made for this. Throw it on hyzer, kind of right at where the basket is, let it flip and drift. Oh, I threw it so low, man. I don't like having to accept that one. Crazy long putt, otherwise I'm taking a bogue, which is probably the case. I need to slow down and Tighten that one up. Maybe Envy on a slight flex. Maybe that PA3. Maybe the Marvel. I will by the end of this round. I will by the start of this tournament for sure. Man, I'm loving this. I liked Kansas City because it was a hard course. It felt challenging. I like this course because it's relatively challenging, but also just so fun. Like, I'm excited to come back and play this every day. I couldn't really say the same for the Kansas City course. Wow, that is the worst shot in the history of the world. I think my putt feels good enough that I can give this a soft bid and maybe even save the par. Well, it's a good bogey. Hey, Erica. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Good. All right, a new gold hole for me. 680 straight, and then up to the right. This would be a great birdie. Little tailwind. Mando right, so you can't go over the road. Yeah, I just gotta hit this gap and let it. This is a very specific shot. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just gonna try. I do think this is where the Sphinx kind of shines. Flip up, stay straight, push straight, push straight. Small little fade. Turn. Wow, that was lucky. I was going through the other gap, but that's a perfect shot, I think. Sphinxes are lucky. Grab one. So you see that big old right gap? That's the gap you're aiming for. But if you get on the left gap and you flip up perfectly, you also get in a good spot. Also got nice and quiet because there's people by me, and I've made 700 videos on the channel, but I still get nervous if there's someone by me. I'm like, don't take up space. They can't know that I'm throwing a disc even though they're 25 feet away from me on the FPO and hole 9 tee pad. Well, according to this, I'm about 300 feet out. Beautiful. This is a good disc golf hole. I think they pushed the tee pad back from where we played last year. We only played the blue. There were no golds. Now I think I've played 2 or 3 golds so far. Then I think they also pushed this slightly back. Actually, that might be the same. But this is way more open. They've done a ton of work. This course, I mean, it gives me like W.R. Jackson vibes, but in the Pacific Northwest. This is genuinely one of my favorite courses I've ever played, and now playing it in this configuration, it's nice because it's like fair and hard and long for a lot of the holes, but I like playing them. Some holes that are like that, I'm like, I don't like it, but this one I do. Maybe I'm just in a better mood, I don't know, but should be right about 300, so dune or probably buzz because there's a little wind out. I don't need to crush it, but I do need to throw like a slight left to right starting shot and then finishing right to left, so mostly straight like a mid. Envy could work. I'm 306 away, so that thing is pretty spot on. I think the dune could be good, but I almost like the buzz more because I would throw it flat to flex. But this one would fade more. I think I'm going to try the dune. For some reason, I think this is my shot. So I think I'm going to try it again. Yes. Yes. Listen to your gut, people. Okay, that might have to stay in the bag, and I might need to flip you. I don't know. That was so nice. The buzz, it's hard because it's really similar to the buzz, and the buzz is a touch more stable, but the feel of that in my hand, I really wanted to throw it. Shout out Jesse, my buddy from Trash Panda. Come on, what a disc. Bounce back stats are going crazy today, with the exception of hole 2. I've birdied some not crazy easy holes after taking the bogey. This hole is tricky, I think. And I got really lucky in the first shot and threw a really good second shot and capitalized. I'm so stoked. I think it's underneath the basket. Shout out Dune. Come on. Birdie town. Back to even. Hovering around even's fine. I do think to cash at this tournament, I'll likely be maybe 3 or 4 under per round. That does depend though, because I don't know how hard these next holes are. And this one is a completely new hole. We used to go back that way last year, and this is an 1,109-foot par 5 in the woods. The normal tee sign says 1111, which is way cooler sounding. Does look like it got like built out, but I mean, turning shot, and then big straight tunnel shot, and then turning shot, all 350 to 400 feet. Today I'm just trying to get the lay of the land. Got a little tailwind, probably not much here. I'm not gonna look too far up the fairways each time, just throw my shot. Wow, that is drifty though. It seems like it has to turn a lot. Forehand might be the play off the tee to set something else up, like a straight forehand, or it could just be a turnover. But I think with the low ceiling, and it looks like jail kind of in these trees over here, I'd rather finish righter. Like just on this tee sign, it looks more open. I'm not walking all the way out there, honestly. Oh, I turned it. Get so lucky. Okay, it's not terrible. It kind of came through weird and it rolled it a bit. So keeping it on hyzer. So par is the only option at this point. This hole, I'm so intrigued. This one also, when I looked, had no birdies on it in the qualifier. I mean, just looking at how long of a par 5 it is through basically full woods. Like you could see in the corner when I had it up, that Pro Tour tee sign was just all woods. No fairway anywhere based on the maps. So, I don't know how many birdies there are going to be. I think it'll be a special one to birdie. And I'm guessing it'll probably play without even playing. My guess is going to be 5.85 on the weekend. So, getting par is going to take some strokes is what my guess is. Very much could be incorrect, but it's always fun to speculate before I've even seen something. But these big growth trees are going to be so fun to play through. My goal would be to birdie this one time with like a first shot between the practice rounds and my tournament rounds. Okay, so it does look like my initial thoughts were a bit wrong. Hopefully we can get a good angle. But the tee pad, I think a turnover is actually the best shot, not a forehand, unless you can push a forehand really straight, because a turnover will get through here, and then there is room out here to fade out. But it looks like the red tee pad right here, I don't know, it's probably like a 600-foot par 4, I would guess. And so you need to get into this area way up here, and then we're going straight that way. This is a very tight hole. This is I mean, if I can get a par from where I'm at, that'd be sick. Yeah, 666 still, par 5 from here. We could see the 100-foot sign way up there, that red thing. So, and it basically looks straight from here. So getting to this area, then throwing up to the blue or white stakes. And then, I mean, it's probably tucked up off to the right. I still can't see the basket. Yeah, we gotta go find my lie. And then I'm basically gonna play for the edge of these wood chips, if not a touch farther. If I can sneak a par out of this, I'd be really happy, but I might go bogey, birdie, bogey, which I don't think would be the end of the world on this hole. Scepter, cap wrap, and okay, this might not actually be as incredibly difficult as I thought. Still very difficult. It's kind of what we're looking at. We got this main gap right here. I could try a little forehand out this way, but I think from this lie, kind of scepter, over and kind of flexing. Man, it's not easy. Smooth shot, soft shot, tight gaps. Scepter was the right disc choice. I didn't hit the initial gap that I wanted to, and I'm still a little stymied, but that was pretty decent. I needed to throw a little harder, a little more over the brace instead of on it, like we talked about yesterday. But for what I had, I'm pretty happy with that shot. Bad news, I am much shorter than I anticipated. If I would have gotten that extra 25 feet and gotten out here, it would be incredible. Like 450, maybe even still chance for a long birdie look. But from here, par is really hard. I need to make sure to get the nose down and kind of pan it, or I could throw the Sphinx. But I think the Emperor, I think I can get a good shot with it. Yes, get stable. I think it might have been a little too left, but it seems like it might be on the side of the fairway. But I still probably have 350 in, I would guess. Par is still possible. Those like knee out forehands are something that are so difficult to execute well. And I always try, and I feel like I always just get extra snappy on my wrist. And like all the work is all my wrist rather than actually like using some sort of weight shift or like my core. Like I literally just used more of my core than I did in that whole throw trying to mime it. So the good news is I'm actually kind of right in line with this 300-foot sign. The bad news is I did push it a little too left. I can finally see the basket. This is a pretty cool, difficult hole, but at least to my eye, non-professional, like Pro Tour consistent player, it seems like they've cleaned it out enough that makes it relatively fair. Like that first shot, if I would have known all I needed to do, I could have turned over a Buzz even, or a Sphinx, or like the chemtrail or a 7-speed or something, and then I can throw into this gap somewhere and have a long 400-foot like late turning shot or forehand. But getting to that red stake seems pretty doable. Getting down to the basket seems really hard, and so that's tricky. Do I even have a look in here? Honestly, same disc again is not bad. It's not going to be like a good birdie look, or a good par look, excuse me, but it's not absolutely impossible to like get close. Come on, come on. Oh, that'll be like 80 feet. That's the best shot ever. Ah, shorty. This seems like another new hole to me. This was not here when I played last. 765-foot par 4. straight and then dogleg to the right. I have to commend the local committee here. How clean these holes look for not being here a year ago, and I know that they were barely even working on them because they were talking about them a year ago, is very impressive. They must have put these in pretty soon after the event and like let them wear in, because this is gorgeous. The back wall is 385, so a straight shot, maybe with a Sphinx or something, and then see what happens after that. A little too much turn. I didn't see which way it kicked. Dang, a little too flat. Touch more hyzer, it's perfect. Well, I kind of just chucked that quickly to get out of people's hair, and I think I threw it back into another bush. Left, oh, good. Whew. When you said the other bush, I was like, no, then I put it just on the side of the thing. That's good, okay, we're about 300, maybe a little scepter. That's not left enough, but that's a putt. It's good to know, especially on the standstills, I can really trust that thing on a touch of flex. For some reason, I think I'll flip it up, but I'm not like wobbling it that much anymore. And I think it would flip on me a little when I would wobble it. I'll probably have another mid circle 2 to late circle 2 look for par. And I'd be unfortunate to go bogey on these 2 new holes. But I think that just tells me if I practice them a couple times, they'll feel like the other holes where I have better chances at par. That one though, the tee shot, much better if you can throw it airing out to the left. So not Sphinx, but maybe Roman instead. It only needs to go 360 maybe, because that back wall is 385, and you're pretty in front of that back wall if you were looking down this fairway. This is a gorgeous hole as well. Really placement off the tee, not like max distance. I think they did such a good job so far on everything that I've seen. Just inside circle 2. This would be a pretty electric par save. Come on. That's the par of the day. No twice or it's luck. You can think what you think that means, and you're probably right. Also, just a gorgeous green. This is one of the most like pro feeling courses I've been to, especially in the woods and especially like out in this area. The manicuring has been really good. It's not like the amenities or the banners or anything are crazy, but the course itself is one that is like a pro tour course that I'd want to play every day. And I think that there's something really cool about a course like that. Because some pro tour courses are like, wow, this is cool, this is challenging, like this is awesome, I'm gonna practice this every week or two. This is the one that's like, this is an enjoyable round, regardless of if I play well or play poorly. And it's a hard enough course and a good enough property to be on the tour, which is pretty sweet. 14, excuse me. Looks like I'm still one big, 410 foot par 3. I believe we played from the white last time I was here, and this wasn't even in. But I remember them talking about backing it up. Yeah, I remember this being like really woodsy feeling. And now that there's 3 holes, or 2 holes and a tee pad, very impressive for how nice it feels. It feels like, oh, this course has been here a while, but I think it's been less than a year. Yeah, I remember playing the 360 position. The basket is out to the right. I can still barely see it from here. Mostly just a straight shot with a little turn. That middle tree, if you split it to the right, you might get lucky. I think it could be one to just throw the Sphinx and have something that I know will turn at the end of its flight, or a big forehand. My forehand doesn't feel 410 big right now, especially down a tight gap. I think maybe I can give myself a circle 2 look, but the best chance for a birdie that's in the circle will be the Sphinx. High in the window. That same shot I just threw was the actual shot for this hole. The last tee shot. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. I think that's in the circle. Let's go. Come on. The good gap, especially for forehanders, is definitely left side of this tree with something really stable that'll flex back, because that's a lot of airspace. What I just went through is, like I said, get a little lucky, and I think I did. So I didn't hit any of these trees, but the trees are all relatively small, and that's a higher percentage play for me right now. I'll practice the forehand, because my forehand has been feeling good, and if I feel like I can just whack something through there and like get good distance on the fairway where it's never not gonna par, that might be worth it to try. But I'm pretty sure I just put this either edge of circle, if not a little inside. Oh, I'm at 30 feet. What a shot. I'm so stoked with that disc. Touch a headwind too. I'm just liking that I'm throwing my Tour Series disc on a tour course, and I'm throwing it well. feels good, man. I'm loving disc golf again. I'm so happy about that. I was honestly, and we're not to the tour court like round yet. And my wife and baby girl aren't even here yet, but they will be later today. And I'm like actually excited for them to be on the road with me. Whereas it was just like really hard. And like I was happy they were there, but it was like so hard. I did not enjoy being on tour 4 weeks ago, and I'm loving it right now. And that feels, I'm so glad that that's the case, because I was nervous, honestly, that I was just like, oh, this is just not for me. But it feels good to like take the time off that I did and be back. So back to even par, 4 holes to play, I believe. Let's have some fun. Hole 15 is a hole that I remember and loved last time I was here. I never birdied it, never even really got too close, but it's like W.R. Jackson vibes to the max. I'm glad they didn't change it. They had talked about making it a par 5. I'm glad they added a par 5, but this one is 770. Basically down this gap, straight, but like pushing hyzer. You need it to go a little left and you need it to go really far. And that middle tree really screwed me a lot last year. But get around that middle tree and push really far, and then you'll have another 380-foot shot, slightly downhill. I like this finishing stretch, especially this hole I think starts a really good stretch. They might have changed 16 because it was a shorter par 3, and I don't remember seeing that on the tee side. They might have changed 16 and 17. And then 18 is a pretty sick finishing hole as well. So this is where I might be missing a stability of driver. It might also just be this driver though. Because this Island Emperor I like, but I think it's too flippy. I think if I throw it on a pushing hyzer, I'm gonna flip it too hard because I need to throw it pretty committed. This I think is really good, but I have to throw it pretty flat, and I almost wanna like swoop a hyzer through the gap without turning it. So I think that's where this disc might actually be perfect. It's really good on my forehand, and I wasn't really throwing it too much backhand, but I used to a lot. And then it became my little control driver. So we'll see. So we'll see how it works. And I think it'll be a good backhand disc. Maybe I don't want to swoop a little hyzer through the gap. Maybe I want to throw it flat and let it fade. With the... Why do I say things in videos before I throw? I do think that was just a mistake of the shot. I thought it was flippier than it was, or I just threw a bad angle. There's a bunch of stuff that went wrong there, but par is going to be really hard. There's like a small little gap down here. I could throw this little flexi forehand, try to get some distance, but with the scepter so it holds over a little better. Uh-oh, maybe I need something flippier. Hit the tree. Ah, nicked it, okay. Bad news, basket's down that way. My disc is in a tree over there. It might be bad decision time, so I brought out the Island Emperor to have some fun. All I needed to do there was advance, which I did. I will say, I feel the least stressed about a tournament that I have in a very long time today. I know I'm 3 or 4 days out, but I'm just like honestly excited to play these holes again in the round rather than nervous about everything that can go wrong. Sometimes when I play tournament rounds or even practice rounds multiple times, I'm thinking about the thing that I can do wrong the next time I come and play. And this time, I'm only thinking about being excited to come and throw the good shot, which is not something I've really ever felt. And it feels like a much healthier way to play disc golf. I threw it all the way over here into the spectator ropes, basket straight ahead. This was an absolutely atrocious shot. This is likely to be a double bogey because of how bad that was. But there's a small little gap right through there, which I'm gonna throw through. I did it. I get stable. Oh, it hits a tree, I think. I feel like I'm playing this hole very flippantly. And that's not ideal as practice. Actually, maybe it is. I think I'm just too serious a lot of times. And for me, maybe just like messing around and having fun on the hole, it makes me learn a lot about the hole. Because I'm getting in spots that I don't think I would too much during rounds. And I'm just like enjoying myself. And yeah, maybe I double this hole. But this score today doesn't mean much to me. Like, to be completely honest with you, these have meant a lot before, but right now, this is just like, feels fun. So I think maybe being a little more flippant in my practice and just like enjoying disc golf and then being serious when the round comes and using all of my serious energy for that is a more healthy thing for me because you can only have so much focus. And I don't want to waste it on practice. But I'm also very much not a top guy, so it might be what works for me. It might not even be right at all. I have a look for the bogey at least. Come on. Let's go. Hole 16, 350 foot turnover. Whoop. Really far right though. Like forehand does work, but to get you like a look, not really to park it. I think backhand is the play. There is also no Mando here, and this hyzer play is a play. So maybe not that. Ooh, this is what this disc is for. I was thinking Sphinx, and I forgot I put the chemtrail in the bag, which is a really flippy 7-speed from Doomsday Discs. That's the shot. If it turns more, it's, wow. That faded a little more than I thought. I think I probably popped the nose up at the end of it, like right as I was coming out of my hand, and if I would have kept the nose down, it would have, maybe I popped it up because I was a little afraid of it burning over, but I kind of need it to hold angle. That'll be something I have to work on this week. Definitely seems like it shapes more up for a forehand with how much righter it gets, or something that fades that way. I think my disc is straight. And a circle 2 look, so still a birdie look. But the more I look at it, maybe I just had a really terrible forehand last year, because this definitely looks like a forehand hole. Unfortunately, since I got stable, you really do need it to kind of try to look like it's burning over. So not even any hyzer out of my hand, but I am way far and way straight and don't have a look. No. This will be another new one for me because we played this hole last time, and it looks like we're playing from a different tee pad. Looks like a bit of a forehanders course because this one's 330. Looks like it's moving left to right. If it's going to the same basket, I have no idea how to get there. That feels playing up there. This is still a pretty hole. Wow, it's very right. These two holes are such forehand holes. They're really making it difficult for Isaac to win this tournament. Yeah, we're going through the gap and then skipping right, which is probably what I should have thrown on the last hole as well. This one's a little shorter, but this is a little interesting to me. I think I like the other hole, which is, I mean, it's a putter, so it's not great, but maybe elongating this in some way or doing something, because it seems like we're throwing two similar shots back to back if you do elect for forehand on both, which I think is definitely the play, because I threw a not good backhand and had some sort of look. And if I would have thrown a not good forehand, it would have, but still like out the gap on the last hole, it would have skipped to where it's a more open, not good look. And this one does look like you throw it flat and let it flare, or like flat to hyzer, excuse me, mostly hyzer, but like almost a flip up hyzer. And so both of these holes are very pushing right holes, which is a little interesting for back-to-backers moving down the stretch of a tournament. In what world am I not doing that last hole? In what world? What is wrong with my little brain? So yeah, I just pushed it on hyzer, didn't let it get to flat or anything. Edge of circle look, very similar. Like that gap, like that way is the gap to our tee pad. So you have to really swing it around like a little, like J-hook or something, which is really reminiscent of the last hole, just that 15 or 20 feet of difference. So basically probably throw the same shot 2 times in a row and give myself a couple birdie looks. This one is much more of a death putt though. Oh. Yep. What a par. The putting feels good. The death putt probably slightly in my head, but I made a pretty solid putt. Those are both very committed, so I'm happy. Last hole is a really sweet par 4, which I think I'm gonna take out a disc that I haven't thrown at all today, the Roman, and try it there. Oh no, I did throw it. I threw it really bad on hole 2, so it caused the bogey. I threw it really bad twice. So I'll throw that one more time, maybe, or maybe a driver, and hope to get to even par. I'm not gonna look, because I didn't even see the final scores before I started my practice round, because they were actually still on the course when I started this practice round. So I don't know what I need to shoot to qualify. And I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna birdie this hole, get to even, and hopefully say that I did it. But no matter what happens, I'm still in the tournament. So, no, you can't take it away. Please. 700, way down there, up to the left. You wanna throw something that's mostly straight, drifts a little, doesn't really turn, but drifts a little and then fades. So I think this Emperor might actually be the perfect shot for this. But the Roman also might be really good. And I don't know. I really don't know. I've really been liking this Emperor. But I think we'll try the Roman, get some redemption from hole 2, and hopefully snag a bird on the way out. Get stable. Trusted it a little too much, which is good, because it still fought out of it. So I can trust it normal now. I don't love the feel. I might put an S-Blend one instead of that one in the bag. That Halo one, I don't know what it is about it, but I have an S-Blend one that I also really like in my car, which I dyed, which looks sweet. If it flies similar, or honestly a touch straighter, I think that might go in the bag instead of that. Well, maybe scratch everything that I said, because that shot was kind of perfect. Straight there, 300-foot stick is right there. So I'm maybe about 330 out, and I can see the basket. A lot of wind actually kind of pushing through, so not going to be the easiest shot. Kind of head right to left. And you'd want to throw something that flips up straight, which I thought would be the dune, but the dune was a little straighter than that. 315. I could also throw something out wide and like slight flex and like stall it in, or like a big hyzer. There's a lot of options, but I honestly think, one, it stinks that I kind of landed on gravel because I hate throwing off gravel, but luckily this is small stuff, so it won't be that bad. The buzz kind of flat down the gap, or the dune, touch a hyzer down the gap might work. Oh man, this is way trickier than I expected. I think the buzz flat is what I'm gonna throw because it's a little more wind resistant. We have a little wind out here right now. Let's go, baby. That's a putt. Left myself with a nice little 20-footer. Let's go, buzzy boy. Shout out Chris Dickerson for the buzz. Let's go, baby. What a bird. Oh, and I even doubled it up. Let's go. Wow, doing this with only one shot per on that way out was definitely the way I needed to do these, especially videos, practice rounds, probably just in general, man. I know how I messed up. I can hopefully correct the mistake. It'd be cool to throw more shots, but I'm here to have some fun and hopefully cash at a tournament. And if I play like I did today, but a little cleaned up, maybe it's possible. This is a fun little even par. Time to see if I would have qualified. Oh, Cascade Challenge Monday qualifier. Would I have qualified? How many people qualify? Doesn't matter how many people qualify, I would have qualified. Let's go. And based on the qualifier, looks like it would have been around 1,008, 10 times. Not bad. Fun day. See you in the next one.